I'm curious to see whether this will help you improve your front lever.
Okay, this is interesting.
Geek Climber is a climbing YouTuber who managed to convince not only himself, but also most of his audience that the front lever is a skill that's practically impossible for him and many of them. My name is Coach Lawrence, front lever achiever and physics enjoyer when it comes to physical fitness. Today in this video, I'm going to be helping Geek Climber and his audience achieve their first front lever using math and physics. And as a bonus, if you watch till the end of the video, I'll share an incredible secret that's going to help you explode your front lever progress. But first, let's begin by hearing Geek's argument and seeing what his theory on the front lever is.
I am tired of hearing people telling me that what stops me from achieving the front lever is because I'm not strong enough. I was able to find out the reason why the front lever is nearly impossible for my body to achieve after a DEXA scan.
Wow, nearly impossible. It's really the wording that gets me. Alright, let's find out why he believes this.
The basic idea is that your center of mass has to be right below the bar.
Funny enough, this is actually the last part of the physics that he gets right. He then goes on to explain how the angle between your arms and your torso actually determine the difficulty of the skill. But he doesn't back this up with any evidence or any math. He just states it as a fact and then continues on this assumption.
After analyzing all these thoroughly, I am inclining towards giving up on the front lever because I won't get it no matter how hard I continue to train for it. No one can defy physics.
Still waiting for the physics to drop. Just because you can hold a progression of the front lever at a higher angle does not mean that it is the angle that is the primary cause of difficulty. And putting up a large equation that eventually will give you a rough estimation of what your front lever angle will be has not proven why the angle even matters. In the physics portion of this video, we'll show why focusing on the angle of your front lever is extremely misleading and how it should not even be one of your primary concerns. Also, why did Geek show his estimation to 3 decimal places? He even admits in the video that it's a rough estimate. I just thought that was funny. Here we have Geek who achieved a one-arm pull-up, proving that he cannot hold his entire body weight at a 45-degree angle. That's like someone who's really good at pull-ups saying that they deserve to have a really heavy bicep curl. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that, seeing how there's not enough carryover between the two exercises.
When an external weight is placed on the upper body while we perform the front lever, it makes the front lever both easier and harder at the same time. It makes it harder because you have to pull more weight. It makes it easier because you can have a larger angle between the torso and the arms due to the shift of center of mass.
Alright, so smaller angle makes it harder, as well as larger overall weight. Geek Climber is 130 pounds with an angle of 47 degrees to achieve his front lever. If those parameters are enough to call it impossible, then what do you call this? I'm 170 pounds and here pulling a front lever at 40-degree angle. That should be theoretically impossible according to Geek Climber's model. Here we have Geek disproving his own theory using a pair of arm extenders. Now that his arms are an extremely long, goofy length, he should be able to achieve the full front lever relatively easily. But as you can see, he was only able to do a subpar straddle front lever since it's not the primary factor in achieving the skill.
The front lever hooks extended my arms by about 9 inches, which made my ape index go from -2 inches to +7 inches.
I hate to be that guy, but 9 inches on both sides of your arms means your ape index is now plus 16 inches, not plus 7. And plus 16 inches means that we've now entered cartoon land. If this is the primary factor in whether or not you can achieve your front lever, everyone should be able to do it with these hooks on, but no one in his video could.
This experience should be enough to put any doubt about longer arms making the front lever easier to an end.
Wow, talk about moving your goalpost. From nearly impossible to it makes it like a little bit easier maybe. No, this has not ended the conversation. In fact, it's just tilted us more. Now let's get into the actual science of the front lever and find out why longer arms might help a little bit, but it's not for the extreme reason that Geek portrayed.
The mechanism that let us achieve this position is basically the third-class lever. By applying strength onto the bar, which is a stable point, you pull this segment up. How much force you need for that depends on 2 factors. The distance from our shoulder to center of mass is called the moment arm. These 2 components create the moment of load, which is the product of this equation.
So simply put, the length from our shoulder to our center of mass, as well as the weight of the segment that we are lifting, are the only 2 factors that are actually applicable to force production in the front lever. The moment arm does not change by increasing or decreasing your arm length. That is why most athletes won't notice a difference between a regular front lever and one done with false grip, but they will notice a difference when performing the skill with shoes and without shoes. This is because when we wear shoes or simply add weight to our legs, we are moving our center of mass towards our feet, which increases the moment arm, which in turn makes the skill much more difficult. Now, even though having shorter arms doesn't make the skill harder from a physics perspective, some people might still find it more challenging for a very special reason.
The angle of flexion becomes larger, which may cause better activation of superior lats region.
Yes, with a larger angle of flexion, you can use your climbing muscles like your outer lats and teres major, rather than with a shorter angle of flexion, you're forced to use your center back and rear delts to perform the skill. This muscular disadvantage is extremely noticeable, especially among people with extremely strong outer backs, especially among those who do not train their center back, i.e. climbers. This is why doing one-arm pull-ups or even extremely heavy weighted pull-ups don't have as much carryover as we would like to see in this skill. That is because the muscles being worked only have indirect use in this case. Here is a diagram where we can see the muscles used in the front lever: the spinal extensors, the inner part of our lats, the bottom of the trapezius, as well as our posterior delts. These muscles don't get much love when performing exercises like weighted pull-ups or climbing exercises. The exercise that I found had the most crossover for the front lever was actually the row, either barbell row or seated cable row, since this exercise targets the center back directly. And for those of you out there who can do front lever, you'll notice that the muscles that are sore after front lever are also sore after doing rows. In general, you'll notice that athletes that are strong at pull-ups are also strong at front lever progressions. But as the progression gets closer to full, two unfortunate things will happen. One, the athlete has to produce more force because the moment arm is increased. And two, they need to generate this force with their center back muscles, which they typically don't train.
I am tired of hearing people telling me that what stops me from achieving the front lever is because I'm not strong enough.
I'm not saying that you're weak, but the muscles needed to perform the front lever are undertrained. If you've managed to watch this far, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Now let's get on to that secret tip I promised you in the beginning of the video. Here's a quick quiz that'll unlock my secret. What do you think the difference is between this front lever and these front levers that Geek showed in his video? Besides angle, which Geek mentioned, take a close look at their hands and how they apply pressure on the bar. You'll see that all the front levers besides Geek's front lever have a bent wrist when grabbing the bar. This is because all of the other athletes are applying pressure in physics terms known as torque, while Geek is trying to front lever with a limp wrist, literally zero grip strength applied. When torque is applied, it creates a downward force which can help lift the load during the front lever. This downward force is equal to the amount of torque applied divided by the radius of the bar that you're holding. Since we're applying this force on the bar, which is directly over our center of mass, it subtracts weight from our load before any other factors are applied. To apply torque, simply grab the bar with your manly grip strength and roll your knuckles forward to apply this twisting force. As an experiment to see how much torque can actually help, use a wrist roller with straight arms and without using your shoulders, roll your knuckles forward to lift as much weight as possible. In this clip, you can see I'm lifting 40 pounds with just my grip strength. This tip can make or break your front lever, and if you're not currently using it, you need to add this into your training to see some explosive results immediately. Here's your quick front lever recap. Train your center back, apply torque, and be patient. It's going to take time to build the muscles in your center back, but once you do, you'll notice that those plateaus just seem to fade away. This is Coach Lawrence signing off, and thanks for watching. Peace.